Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're immediately plunging into something truly harrowing. A hot air balloon tragedy in Praia Grande, Santa Catarina, Brazil. It happened June 21st, 2025.
Yeah, it's deeply concerning. A balloon, 21 people on board, pilot included, catches fire just 2 minutes after takeoff. 2 minutes.
The speed is just unbelievable.
It really is. And our goal here, in this deep dive is to carefully unpack the sequence of events. We want to understand the human cost, look at what investigators are saying initially, and also put it in the wider picture of ballooning safety in Brazil.
Right, trying to get beyond just the headlines.
Exactly. To give you a really full understanding of what went down.
Okay, so let's start unpacking it. This unfolding tragedy. The preliminary cause seems to be a backup torch, igniting inside the basket.
That's the initial finding, yes. For anyone listening who might not know, a backup torch is, well, it's a secondary heater. A safety system, really.
But if it ignites uncontrollably,
Yeah.
maybe a leak, a bad valve.
Precisely. Something malfunctioned, turning that safety back up into the source of the disaster itself inside the basket. Just awful to imagine.
So picture this. 2 minutes up. Fire breaks out. What did the pilot do?
He reacted immediately, tried to get the balloon down fast, and then a really desperate, heroic decision. He told people to jump when they were very close to the ground.
Jump from a burning balloon. But then something went horribly wrong with the physics, didn't it?
Like he did. A cruel twist.
Whoa.
13 people managed to jump out. They survived, though injured.
Okay.
But as they jumped, the balloon suddenly got much lighter. And because it was still burning, generating lift, it shot back up.
Oh no. Trapping the others.
Exactly. Trapping the remaining 8 people inside the now rapidly ascending flaming basket. It's just a nightmare sequence.
And the final toll reflects that sequence.
It does. 8 fatalities, 4 people died in the basket itself, from the fire and the eventual crash. The other 4 died from the fall when they jumped or fell after it ascended again.
And the survivors?
13, including the pilot, all hospitalized. Various injuries, and we know some had quite severe second-degree burns.
There was footage, wasn't there? Eyewitness accounts came out fast.
Very fast. Really chilling video surfaced, showing the balloon just engulfed in flames, and you could actually see people jumping.
I saw some discussion online, maybe Reddit. Someone pointed out that grim detail.
Yeah, there was a comment, starkly put. Once people started jumping, the balloon started to rise again, trapping the remaining people. Nobody who was in the basket at the start of the video survived.
Wow. And the pilot confirmed he ordered the jump?
He did confirm that, yes.
Wow.
Part of the investigation now, obviously.
So, speaking of the investigation, who's handling it?
It's a joint effort. You've got CINEPA, which is basically Brazil's version of the NTSB, their air accident investigators.
Okay.
They're working with the Santa Catarina Fire Department and also AIA, the National Civil Aviation Agency, Brazil's FAA equivalent.
Yeah.
They're coordinating.
And they expect results soon, confirming the torch theory.
The initial word is results within about 30 days. And yes, confirming that initial finding about the backup torch appears likely, but the full report will give details.
And the official reaction. Government officials.
Swift responses. The state governor, Jorginho Melo, declared official mourning, pledged support. President Lula also offered federal help for the families and survivors.
What about the company operating the flight? Sobrevoar Serviços Turísticos.
They've suspended all their balloon operations indefinitely. And what's quite significant here is that reports suggest they had a clean safety record before this.
Really? So not a history of problems?
Apparently not. Which makes it feel less like negligence and more like a sudden catastrophic failure. It really challenges ideas about safety, even with established operators.
And this wasn't the only recent incident in Brazil, right? That adds another layer.
That's a critical point. No, it wasn't isolated. This was the second fatal balloon accident in Brazil in just 1 week.
Wow. Where's the other one?
Near São Paulo. That crash killed 1 woman, injured 11 others, just days before this one in Praia Grande.
2 in a week. That's alarming, especially since ballooning is popular there.
Very popular, particularly in South Brazil around this time, June. It coincides with Catholic festivals, and places like Praia Grande are scenic hotspots for it.
So it's a common tourist activity.
Absolutely. Which makes these back-to-back tragedies cast a really dark shadow. You have to ask, are safety regulations keeping up with the popularity? Are these freak accidents or symptoms of something more?
Right. So summing up this deep dive, we've looked at the awful timeline, the human cost, the initial investigation pointing to that torch, and this broader, worrying context of recent incidents.
Exactly. It's a complex tragedy. And it forces us, I think, to reflect on that intersection of human factors, mechanical safety, and the risks involved in adventure tourism, activities that, usually bring people a lot of joy.
A sobering thought.
It is. So for you listening, what does this incident make you consider about safety protocols? About the balance between thrill and risk and the things we love to do? Something to think about.